Welcome to Talk About Paint Club, your tri-monthly tangent from the world around you. I am your host, the Tangerine Scream, along with
The neon hair queen now.
there you go. All right, so the tiny bit of housekeeping that we got to do is we are on the second week of the month of July already. So wow.
Ridiculous.
If
Well,
Jimmy
it's because it
Kimmel
started on the first.
right, if Jimmy Kimmel were airing right now, you would have the very first Monday, so the third would have been like them highlighting all the morning talk show news people going, "Wow, can you believe it's July already? Wow, can you believe it?" And yeah, so been deprived.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. It's totally like. Yeah, they've been making fun of that for I don't know months, but yeah, so like they just apparently some of their writers or whatever their crew they just go call the fucking Broadway the shows and see like who says it's June, can you believe it? Or it's already June if you can believe it, blah blah blah, or some shit like that. So they do that all the fucking time, and it's always funny, and because we have not had late night talk shows in months, literally now. Yeah, just like
I feel like at wrestling the equivalent would be AEW. They started doing like it's Monday night, and you know what that means. In honor of one of the wrestlers that passed away, and I thought it was really cute because like now, like no matter what the pay-per-view is, or like if it's Friday, they'll be like it's Friday night. You know what that means? So I'd like I that's like the only thing that I feel like if it's like that, like oh I can't believe it's July already, or like oh it's Monday already. Like it's a cooler way to say it. Like,
yeah. Hello, YouTube. Thanks for joining tonight. All right. So the other housekeeping besides the can you believe it's already the 8th is that yeah. So this month we will have a double dead week. So that's all right. So the 15th will be the last show for the month. No harm, no foul. But we'll come back. We'll come back with more stuff on in August. Color of the month is black, and let's see.
oh, it's reversed. Whatever, you get it.
That's cool. All right. So yeah. So then, what else we got? All right. So on the last week, I'm very much grateful for everybody who participated in my Nature's Beast colorway competition. So, yeah. So quick recap.
Dylan has no idea where we are with this now. He has no idea what the final two are, and he's going to just be so
that's
upset.
cool. So no, it's cool. So yeah, that's why it's kind of why I parted it all over the place. But yeah. So some I like to get. I like to paint things based off of stuff from nature. I very much use nature as a reference. And when Alicia and I watch nature shows, I will if I see something that a color scheme that grabs my attention, it goes into the little notebook, and maybe I use it later on. And so, I guess 2 weeks ago on Facebook, I asked. I was like, I was fishing, and I very much like what I caught. I was like, hey, let's see who can give me an animal concept for one of the mad monsters I'm painting up, and I got more than 16 responses, and that was pretty cool. Like, hey, hard to pick and choose which one to do, and so I ended up setting it up as a bracket system. So I'm like, well, how the fuck are we going to pick this? And I just thought it'd be fun across Instagram and Facebook and YouTube to see how I can pick winners from each bracket. And it's fun enough to where I think that I'll probably make a video for my other YouTube channel after once I start painting this dude. Oh, the jaw is missing. But anyway, so here's the one. Here's the platform. It's the Mad Monster platform that I've gushed over for the past several months, weeks, and yep. So we are in the tonight. We're deciding on. Oh, I'm going to find you there. I promise. So we
Don't listen to him.
we got to the semifinals after the show. It was down to 4. Now it's 2, and the last 2 is a red panda and red pandas and bald eagles. So that piece looks straight out of Small Soldiers. 90s kids will know. I totally yeah. But so tonight in the chat, and I'll remind people, and I probably just did a YouTube streamer football by eating ice. But anyway, so tonight during the chat, everybody gets to vocalize whether or not they want to select a red panda or a bald eagle as their decision, and all you have to do is put it in the chat over there, and yeah, I'm going to take tabulation throughout the night. Any viewers can give out a response, and
I say eagle. I'm officially locking it in from what I thought I was gonna say initially.
So like, I very much appreciate everybody participating. This is fun. And yeah, like I love red pandas, and I don't remember who suggested it. And I painted a bunch of toys as red pandas, so in my head, it should paint itself, and so that's cool. All my colors are figured out for that, but of course, I've also been figuring out like, well, what colors I'm gonna have to use for a goddamn bald eagle if that should be selected. So we both are going to be fun, and that's all I can say. That's all I got for right now. But yeah, the plan is to film parts of the painting process so that eventually it'll be like either probably a time lapse with some voiceover on my other YouTube channel. So yeah, that's what we got going on tonight there. And then let's see, I need to move my drink.
It would be fun if it would be fun if you did some stuff like on here, like if you did some of the painting on here and then or like finished it on here.
Oh, that'd be cool. It would be. I agree. So
just my idea because it's called Paint Club.
That's fine. Yeah. So like, if you're watching tonight and you're in the chat, go ahead and shout out either a red panda or a bald eagle. 1 vote per customer, please. And yeah, we're gonna do that. All right. So we'll kick off the rest of the show. Nicole, what are you drinking
tonight? I was gonna actually have alcohol because my birthday's on Tuesday, but I don't want to. So I have water over here, iced tea over here, and yeah. I had a long day.
Because America, but I'm not going with this to go against.
Yeah, that's it. Because America.
Hey man, I already had a color. I have like accents galore if it goes America. So like, that's cool. There'd be red, white, and blue involved in a bald eagle, I promise.
I can't wait.
Oh yeah. So then let's see. So I'm drinking Pedialyte thanks to the day.
Oh no.
So yeah, I wish I could say I partied hard last night. But yeah. So let's see. All right. So I'm sorry, I forgot to pull up my show notes. So now it's just like, I look all dumb. And then now I'm picturing the bald eagle as Hulk Hogan. You picture it any which way you want, and we'll see how we meet in the middle, and that'll be fun. All right. So
okay, I picked bald eagle. I should should I tell why?
No, you do. Like, sure, if you
want
to.
No.
Do it. You do it if you
No, I was
want.
gonna say because you no because you
Just
I
do
saw
it. Vocalize an
your
opinion.
pup as
Oh,
as a panda. So now I want to see an eagle.
well, there you go.
I know it's a different platform, so it's going to look completely different. I know you do everything completely different, but I just kind of being selfish here. And all I pictured was Peacemaker, the
Uh-huh.
show Peacemaker that John Cena's in, and
Oh, sure.
his buddy is Eagly.
Yeah, he's got eagly.
Yeah. So that's all I kept thinking was like Eagly. I don't know. Mind you, I was wearing a shirt that said Peacemaker and Vigilante 2024, like a vote for them kind of shirt. So like my ass was like, cool. It's like fucking whatever time at night thinking I'm such a genius for this.
I've only
It is
seen.
hilarious.
Hey, Jason. Yeah, so I think I've seen 2 or 3 episodes of that.
Oh my god, you have to see the whole show.
Okay.
The moment where that one who is it? He starts listing a whole bunch of celebrities. Like that's like the best. That's the best. And the intro alone
The
makes
intro
the
is funny.
show. I try to learn the dance and I can't do it. It's too fast, like to how they switch it, and I'm like, and he made what's his name? James Gunn married the blonde chick.
Robbie Margot?
No, the one that's in Peacemaker, the agent. I forgot her name, but he's married to her in real life now.
Okay. Was the Peacemaker in the new Suicide Squad movie too?
Yes.
He was? All right. Maybe that's okay. I remember the dance. I remember seeing the Terminator in there, and that's about it. All right, so Jason, you're brand new to the show tonight, or at least
For now.
saw the hay. So everybody gets to vote either on a red panda or a bald eagle for the upcoming colorway of my Mad Monster. So get your opinion in the chat, and we're just going to keep on going. All right, so we got the color of the month. The next thing we got is what have you done lately, Miss Chula?
Okay, so I'm working on my piece obviously for this color of the month, but like I don't want to show it then if that's the case. So it's here. Wait, look, here's the back of it. and here's a hint of the black. Okay. I've been working on that, and I started doing my like summer food whatever. You can't vote hippo. Sorry, I just saw that. You can't vote.
No,
Hippo.
I saw it too, and I'm like, come on, man! Like, Hippo had its moment in the sun. Hippo lost. I don't remember what the Hippo lost.
Hippo's dead. Hippo got stabbed in the eye by a bald eagle.
Hippo lost to
so I got
the bald
so far.
eagle.
Exactly, Hippo got stabbed in the eye by the bald eagle.
Hippo.
So
Like,
I have
here's my original bracket
one.
and the number that.
Let me see.
What? Yeah.
Let me see.
Here's the. Yeah. Apparently, I wrote it down on a scrap of paper first. So there's the original, and then yeah. So who says I don't? Who says I throw it? I don't throw anything away. Hey, what are those for?
Oh, they glow, but you can't tell because it's fucking daytime in my office. These are part of my little like summer food thing that I asked everyone last week, and then the resin I had, it was too humid in here and it crystallized, so I had to stop making them. And then JFO sent me a new mold yesterday, and it was perfect timing since I got new resin, so that's a hint for me to keep going.
Cool.
You can't tell, but they glow really like bright pale, like blue and pink. So it's really, these are cotton candy. And then this one, this one looks like shit in my opinion, but it glows really pretty. Like this was one of the bomb pops. It just sat really funky. But then this one came out really fun. So that's supposed to be like the little rocket pop spotlight thing. Then I guess we're gonna try something else tomorrow. Not today.
That's cool. How long does it take to cast each one?
Depending on the resin. So like this one was a 5-hour demold, but with like
Holy
the
shit.
heat and having AC and stuff like that, like it was more of a Nicole, you should probably have this in as long as humanly possible, like kind of situation. But then like condensation issue, like it was just a hot mess. So I don't think that's exactly the resin I should be using this time of year. The
Do
other
you
one
ever
that I
put
hmm?
do you ever put silica packs in your pressure pot? Or would
know that
that
I should
help?
try that. It's a good idea.
Because like I have the big old monster ones. My dad was a prepper, so I ended up getting like a fucking bucket full of them, right? And so whenever I
Yeah,
send a toy overseas, I always throw one in there just to make sure like the humidity doesn't fuck with the bubble wrap versus
that's a good idea.
the bubble wrap and varnish and whatnot. So it's just like I don't know if anybody. I don't know. I hope it makes a difference, and I assume it does because nobody from overseas has ever said, "Hey, your bubble wrap stuck to it," even though it took like weeks to get there, and it's so fucking big that I'm like, I hope it does. I hope it sucked every chunk
Now,
out of the wood.
now I want to see if I could put it like underneath that little box thing that like on the side of it and see.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good idea because I have a bunch in different sizes from like my gardening stuff where like the teas and like to keep it dry. So that's a really
Yeah.
good idea. Thank you for telling me that. My
That's right.
favorite one though is this. It's the same brand, Lumelite, but it's their regular clear because it sets
Oh.
like I have like 7 minutes to work with it, which sucks. But sucks. But it's maybe like an hour and a half to demold, and I don't ever sit there and like question whether or not my sanity is going to somehow happen. Like, gonna bear with me because like with an hour and a half, at least like if I keep it in extra long, it's only like what 3 hours. It's like not 7 hours overnight. Like stressed out. Like
How many molds do
is it
you
actually
cast at once? Or
For 5 points, I was doing all of the minis, so it's 2 mini bullets, the micro bullets. So it was like the ones that were smaller than this. There was two of these, and then two sets of the wings, and then it was like one mold for each wing. So there's a
okay.
mold for this wing, a mold for this wing, and then a mold
Oh,
for this bullet. And
I
because
thought they were all.
the
I thought it
bigger
was all one like one cast.
the big bully is one cast. This is
Okay.
like interchangeable, like separate wings or whatever.
Okay.
And then right now with this little jiggermaro thingy that I made, I can fit two of these, two of these, two of these, and then still put all of the micros on it, and probably like another like small one over here or something like that.
Right on.
So it's a lot for that, but it's only a 2.5 gallon pot, so it's not like it has like a crazy amount of space. But I also like most of them are this tall, like they go up ways for the space, not this way. I don't know, I make it work. I know people stack them. Some people stack their molds, but that makes me nervous. I don't know.
Well, like in the ceramics department, we would. I mean, you stack the kiln, and so like you could. It always looks.
Precarious, right?
Yeah, it always looks shady, and like and we all took turns stacking the kiln, both the electric and the gas one, and like if you fucked up people's pieces, it's on everybody. So like
Yeah.
and it was like, oh yeah, I watched one jackass like topple in the electric kilns. You go from the top, you load from the top, and he had knocked over the top shelf and
No.
pulverized everybody's, and everybody like was it dude, yeah, like the only dude I've actively punched. But yeah, and it wasn't because of that.
It, it
But
just makes me nervous. And I've asked other people like
yeah,
that I know directly, and they're like, I don't because it makes me nervous. Or then I'll like two people I know were like, no, I do. And I'm like, I
yeah,
don't
no,
know.
I
Maybe if it
like
wasn't a
firing
I don't
stuff,
know.
and like I didn't like loading the I like loading the gas one better, even though it was like it's a 4x4, a 4 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot oven, and huge. You put way more crap in there, and there's like more variables the way the burners are and stuff. But I like loading that more than the smaller electric one. I like firing the big one too. I mean, like the electric one, you flip a switch, you come back in 3 hours, and you do another switch, and then you. And it's like cool, that's super automated. But the gas one, that takes fucking. You gotta baby it a lot.
Yeah, if you're
I had
using
this one
gas.
jackass, the guy who toppled everybody's in the electric kiln. Um, the standard practice was to on one of the blackboards in the studio was to write down the time and temperatures because you're supposed to be taking note of that so you can uh, escalate it and de-escalate it in the top proper fashion. And so I'm in there just fucking around. I'm in the studio doing something, and I poke my head in and look. I'm like, oh yeah, kiln started at 8 o'clock, right on time, and it's like noon, and it's only increased 200 feet or 200 degrees, which is I don't remember how many degrees per hour. I want to say 300, but I knew this guy was way off mark. And so, like, while I'm painting and doing other stuff at school, I could see this guy like walking around and wanting to try and find somebody. And it's a Friday, and staff aren't there really. I mean, they're there, but they're not there. And this dude, like, finally is like, Rick, and you knew I didn't care for him. Can you help me with the kiln? And I started laughing. Yeah. So I go, so we open the door to let things cool down because it's only 200 degrees now. It's dick. Um, and I'm laughing at him because I know what the problem is. So the sculpture professor the night before um, he had done a very select firing process. So the kiln, if you imagine a set the five face on a die where you got the four corners and one in the middle. That's where the burners were, and they were external, so they shot into the kiln, and and fucking so he had closed off the corner ports to only have the center one, so we could do some enamel firing, and so he had put bricks on the inside of the kiln to block out those burners. Um, Even though they weren't on, he didn't want that heat coming in or coming in there, and he didn't want heat escaping. So he just put bricks over the ports on the inside. All right. So the dude loads the fucking kiln and doesn't pay attention to these bricks that are in the way.
Oh my god.
So we get it all figured out. So I am underneath the kiln with a short metal rod to nudge these things off to the side. He is looking into the kiln to make sure I am not hitting stilts to knock everything down. So I'm down there, and you do it corner to corner, and the middle is the last one to do. It's a little janky, but like I said, it's you're 4 feet. It's 4 feet deep, and the last one you pretty much just you grab a stick, and that's how you light the middle one. Do it with a stick. So the first one is always the hardest, and because it's in the back corner, so you have to crawl under the kiln and light it. All right, kills a foot and a half off the ground. So I crawl under because this dude cannot go under there to do this. I don't know how it got fired or how he lit it all up at 8 o'clock. But there I am at noon, crawling on my belly to do this. Now this guy's all freaked out because it should be 1,200 degrees at that point in time, in theory, and it's not. So as I light it, and fine, and I start wiggling out from behind, and all of a sudden I hear he has fired up all the burners at once,
Oh
and
my
I am still
god.
crawling out. So I see
Is
it
he trying
goes.
to murder you?
He is trying to make up for lost time, and
And
so
actively murder you?
as I'm crawling out, it's like the Millennium Falcon escaping the second Death Star, where I have like my hand coming out and the ball of fire exploding out.
Oh
And
my.
I stood up. Burnt hair smells gross. I stood up. I brushed the fucking burnt hair off my arm, and then I slugged him in the face. And I was like, "Get up, Josh! I'm going to kick your ass." And his glasses are askew. And he's like, "Good thing I'm wearing my rubber glasses today, or you would have broken them." I'm like, "Get up! I'm going to kick your ass." And he just slinks away. I'm like, "You better!" I'm like, I've never wanted to like beat up anybody in my life.
No,
But
I can never actually picture you wanting to, but I
yeah,
can
like,
imagine you saying it.
I'm not a big dude. I'm not a jocular dude either. I'm like, but yeah, but at that
Rick
point in time,
said,
damn,
"Get
I
up,
want to kick his
Josh.
ass.
Kick your
Get up,
ass."
Josh. I'm going to kick your ass.
And Josh said, "Fuck that," and was like,
yeah. So the kilns were in the what we call the sculpture yard area, which is a neat area of the studio, because the welding kids were the welding area was in this part of the building. There was a huge sand pit for when people did metal casting and whatever. So, like, hell, I would go in there with paintings and set them on fire because the sand pit was 8 by 10 feet. So
that sounds like
good size. And yes, and my painting professor would go in there and smoke. So it's like it's all around just a great fire hazard and just chock full of bad smells and vapors. And yeah, and like this guy, I hit him. He fell into the sand pit, and he just like scurried away. I'm like, fuck. Then I went back and painted, and
I want to hit him more.
I did. I wanted to kick his ass. But no, I just tell this story whenever I can to those who listen and those who don't care.
Did he ever say sorry?
I didn't give him a chance. No, I don't think he did.
I mean, like even
But,
the
like-
next day. Oh my god! Now I want to kick his ass. I don't know how long ago
Like-
this was, and I still want to do that. Ooh, why did
But
I
yeah,
do that?
so yeah. So anyway. All right, so there's the whole. Meanwhile, 30 years later,
Before I forget to show this off, look at what JFO made me.
what did JFO make you? Hold it up. Oh, closer. So is that a decal?
It's a stamp.
It's a stamp. Oh, sweet. Nice.
And look at the amazing logo he made for me.
There you go.
Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to show that off.
No,
No, he
that's
will
cool.
not make you a logo for free.
I got a logo. I love my logo.
No, not you. I mean, like people. Like, no, you cannot commission him for logos. He was just actually
Rico's got
genuinely
skills.
tired of looking at mine and putting mine on his like stuff because it was like so long and you can't see my name and it's like it was like this big.
Mm-hmm.
You saw it before. Like that. It just I think he was just tired of using it. He goes, "Are you stuck on this?" Because I would rather change it. And I was like, "I'm not." And sure, like,
Oh, JFO's got
that's
skills.
how bad it bothers you. He does. He's so good. I was so impressed. He was like, "You could tell me if you hate it," and I was like, "Hate it? That's sick. You used the shape of my bullet to make my name. Like, he's
That's
a
cool.
genius." So if you don't follow JFO, go follow JFO on
The
Instagram because he's a
JFO.
genius.
I don't know. Yeah, no, like, is he on? Did you join Threads too?
I'm really mad that I did because I found out after the fact that if you delete it, you delete your entire Instagram.
Ah,
So yes and fuck.
I'm all
But
right with it. Like,
I
what
don't
like
feel like
most-
I'll delete it. So it's like,
I mean, like, there's good and bad to it. One of my political commentators talked about the the good and bad about it, or at least the bad is that thanks to Twitter, you have the possibility of having direct access to celebrities, politicians, etc. And direct, like there's a possibility that you can have like your state representative or uh, actually respond to you, um, and because Twitter has that available now, it will be hard to take the upper echelon, if you want to call it that, to want to make a switch to try and build back a fan base that they already have established. That being that being said, last time I saw Stephen Colbert active on Twitter, I was like, "You need to release an audio version of the indictment." Um, like, I have no
Well,
idea if Stephen Colbert.
didn't Twitter put up these new parameters where if you have an unverified account, you can only read so many articles? And
Yeah, but
shit?
I don't. I mean, like, I use Twitter to fuck with politicians.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of their
Like,
fan base
like
might be like, "I'm not dealing with this. I can't actually like
and they
scroll."
might. That's fine. And like, and so like, and I don't know all the mechanics of Twitter. But what I do like is that on Threads, if I put a link in my post, you can click on it, and it works. What do you
When
mean
you
going to be
guys
on
gonna be? Well,
Threads?
I
You mean
guess like
like broadcasting on Threads?
no. I think paint club. Like when am I gonna make a paint club and talk?
What do
Like
you guys?
make like.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that should be.
I guess. Okay, sure, fine, thanks. I
Yeah,
just started
like
Monopoly Go. Can we give me some time to
no,
update my?
but like I like that you can put up a link there and it's hot, like because like if you do it if you put a link in your Instagram post, you still have to be like link in the bio and blah blah blah, and you have to help people go search for it, whereas opposed to Threads, and I assume Twitter works kind of the same way because um, from from
Yeah,
just
if you put a link, you can click it directly.
from just a casual user, they look the same. Um,
Like how like petty is it that Zuckerberg took the name of what like to show what was like trending? Like it was like it was called a thread, I think, or whatever. Like it was some like
that's
just name
funny.
that was like being used on Twitter. I find that so fucking awesome.
That's funny.
And aren't they boxing each other soon? That makes me
No,
even like
they're not
laugh
going
even
to.
harder.
They're not going to fight each other.
Aren't they supposed to have some kind of celebrity boxing match?
They come on.
If they do, I would be like,
Come on.
where's Kanye to grab their mic and say, I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm the best celebrity like bullshitter of all time.
So, I would like to share.
Maybe that's what they meant by like a little like battle. Yeah, show me. Sorry.
Oh, NFL memes.
NFL
Whatever
memes
gets
is
you to their
so
yard,
fucking
right?
petty. It's so petty and it's so good, and they have no like allegiance, which makes it even better.
That's awesome. So I painted this.
If something happened that's shitty, yeah. Let me see. Sorry.
So no. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what day it was. Hell, I was surprised it was Saturday today. It's just been like kind of a blur. No, I think Wednesday or Thursday. I painted this thing up, and so like I was painting one of the Mad Monsters because they're.
Let me see that again. Hold it up higher.
I'm going to. I'm going to just. I was painting one of the Mad Monsters, and I wasn't sure about a color scheme for some part on one of the three that are in progress. And so, what's the rule, or what's my rule of thumb? Grab something that's in limbo and try it there. So, 3 o'clock. I think it was, anyway, 3 o'clock the other day. I said, let's go find something that has as much texture or more. Found something in the basement that was partially painted, and it in a rainbow effect of like from green to yellow, from green to yellow, green, yellow, orange, and I it was so coated in dust. I had to wash it off in the basin, and so then I painted it purple and just dry. Here we are. So I started out with purple, and
Oh
yeah,
my god.
and I went with the purples to blue to yellow to purple, blue to green to yellow green to just some yellow, and yeah, I got a pretty dynamic dealy bob with along with a couple washes, eight paints total, and yeah,
That's
so I remember,
it?
yeah, so 8 paints, and yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. And you can see, check
I
out,
love
oh,
that.
look at that, Nicole, it loves you.
Oh.
So
It looks like the Chitauri from the Avengers, the ones that come
oh sure,
when Loki like calls them.
oh yeah, this is based off a movie monster that was really low budget. Um, and I suppose I could look it up in my Etsy records of what it is. 'Cause for the life of me, I don't remember right now.
I
But
still love that. Whatever.
but I remember being on an episode of Booze and Buddies when it first started 3 years ago, and I was bitching about the base because I fucking hate this base. Right? It is just it is a round wooden base that from Hobby Lobby or Michaels, and that's what it's cast on. All right, so that's resin, right? So beautiful sculpt glued onto a wheel, and I fucking hate it. So what the plan is probably a bigger circle than this is to have like a water effect um, scenario scene down here and hide this or chop it off. Um, but I
I
really
could get
fucking
behind
hate
that.
I hate this stupid wheel, so it's going to be covered up with a more scenic base.
I hate this stupid fucking wheel.
But yeah, this is like you spend all this time and imagination to hand sculpt something like this.
Couldn't
And
you
then
have
put
cut it
on
off?
I could. I can now, I suppose, but like that's what making it stand while I paint it. And
Fair.
since I've had no real um, concept of what I want to do here, except just like something.
I like the
nice.
water effect idea though.
But like, and then like, I just painted the back just a simple dark gray, so that like that's the only time black was used is actually like mixing black with some of the other colors. So this is like the darkest color is a dioxide purple. And that's pretty rad. And like yeah, you can see like the washes and stuff in there, and yeah, it's I'm pretty pleased with that. And it was a nice I don't want to call it a slump buster, but pretty much a slump buster. Like just decided that 3 o'clock one day, that's all I needed to do is to paint that, and then sometime around midnight, I considered it done after like, and I would say like okay, so I'd say like 9 hours went by from when I decided I'd do this to finishing it, but I only probably painted it for about 6 hours because there were like other things to do in that time. So I'd say about 6 hours worth of time just for that. And then I bet the base takes just as long. But yeah, I'm just super stoked with that simple plan. And then we got the tank bot from our buddy Clav, and
Oh my god! Is that the one that you got at 5 points?
4. Yeah, and so far this is only 7 colors. So,
oh my god, I love it so much. Stop it.
So yeah, I'm still just beefing up the details, and so 7 colors, and then
Don't
there's going to be like
stop
one,
it.
2. There's going to be about 4 or 5 places where I make it like lights. So there will be pink lights in about 1, 2, 3, 4 places in there. So just like nothing in the front, but all the parties in the back. But yeah, like
all the parties in the back.
all the parties in the back. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, this has been a fun one to do, and it's just been super different. And yeah. So like I had a customer reach out to me a while ago, and I cannot show this. At least I don't think I can, so I'm not going to. It's the better part of valor, right? He reached out to me, he's like wanted me to paint something, and with an African American skin tone, and I haven't painted that in years. Like it's got to be over 20 years, and uh, this is where like model paints get to be a life hack. Well, where even though I didn't have the right tone, right color, um, with enough mixing of browns and some other colors, I was able to get what he wanted. And the customer was very nice to send me a paint sample. So he sent me like, yeah, what it what color the skin tone was going to be, and I spent yesterday for about an hour ish mixing up paints to just make sure like I've got it. Like not too orange, not too pale, not too purple. And I was like, all right, I have matched the color he sent me.
I can't,
Now,
I can't wait to see it.
now
I
on with
can't
the
wait to
other
see
stuff.
it. When it's time. When it's time.
Yeah, and
When
like,
it's
and
time, I can't wait to see
the
it.
funny thing is, it's a rush job. So it's like, I received it yesterday, and already it's cleaned up, primed, and base coated in the basement. So like, it should be something to be finished tomorrow or Monday. The goal is to ship it out by Thursday. So uh, that's in like a quick turnaround to make things go. It looks like a bald eagle on steroids. What looks like a bald eagle on steroids? I missed that.
The guy that's on the base,
Oh,
the
this.
monster on the base.
Gosh, if only. Yeah. When we do bald eagle, I'm going to have yellow skins and stuff, or oxide skins because of the feet. And yeah, there'll be America all over it. Anyway, so if you're new to the show, we're taking votes on the in the chat for uh, a red panda or bald eagle for a colorway, and because we're just going to be like like a an event announcer. Don't forget to go to your Earl Shy blah 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 tonight. And anyway, so eventually, I think in about 2-3 weeks, at least. Anyway, after the release of the next video for this, the painting video for this toy, we'll be doing. I'm going to do this again, but for fictional um, monsters, and see how it goes. I bet I can get over 16 on that. It'd be fun to get 32 recommendations, so we can just do um, a huge bracket. But yeah, so that's that.
I can't wait to see. You should do more often with like stuff like this.
We'll see. This has been fun. We'll see if I enjoy the whole process first, because
Okay, fair.
so like this has been pretty fun. And I like video editing, so I like what I do as video editing. So here we go. All right. So what have you been listening to lately? Since we've been
Okay, so I have become wildly obsessed with Demon Slayer, which is a anime,
oh
and
yeah.
I'm not an anime fan, so that's a
Oh.
big deal. That's like, that was a big deal for me to be like obsessed with it. And it was to the point where I watched, I think, like the first 2.5 seasons within like 3 days, and it was getting a little ridiculous. So I had to chill the fuck out and take a break. And I started to watch the Netflix show Is It Cake? Because I fucking love that show. Like, they have to bake things and trick the judges if it's cake or not. And I love it. And I love Mikey Day from SNL, and he's the host. So it's just a fun show. And so that was my background noise while I was working and looking up and down and up and down.
Okay.
because that is, you know, you have to actually listen to that one, and then with the anime you can't really like. I watch with subtitles, so you can't really like.
Oh, hello, Miss Kimmy.
Oh yeah, give her the rundown of the
I
voting.
will give Kimmy a rundown in a second. That. I've seen that show because of Good Mythical Morning, and they played that game on whether or not it's cake on there.
It's so fun.
It is kind of fun. It is. It looks. Yeah. It's like
Because like
it.
you know they show you them making it, and then at the end when they spin it around and the judges see it, even I'm like, which one is the cake? Like not every time, obviously, but like more times than not, because you don't see the finished product.
Yeah.
You're like, shit, I don't even know, and like they tricked me, and I'm like, damn, I like this show. Hurry up and make more seasons.
You can. So you can say they nailed it, huh?
It's
All
so
right.
stupid. Does that show even
Uh,
exist anymore?
I don't know. We got rid of Netflix a while ago, so I sometimes enjoy it. Like I think, yeah, dude. Like that's my favorite flavor. One of my favorite flavors of ice cream is cake. Like oh, cake
You
flavored
just
ice
made me
cream.
think about if I want to get ice
It's
cream.
so awesome. All right. So for those who just joined, Kimmy, looking at you, Kimmy. You get to decide on red pandas and bald eagles tonight. That's the finalists for the colorway selection for my unpainted mad monster, red panda or bald eagle. Who will come out on top? So,
Now that we're talking about cake, I kind of feel like I should bake my birthday cake.
God, what's your favorite type of cake? I know what mine is.
Oh God, I don't know how to answer this. Okay, I'm just gonna go with like what I used to have every year for my birthday. My grandmother would make the best strawberry shortcake to fucking
Hmm.
like knock your ass off, and she made it for me, my mom, like every year for our birthdays, and it was just my favorite tradition. So I don't know if it's my favorite, but it gives me the most like aw moments. I kind of like ricotta cakes, so I don't know. I'm awful. Should I show everybody what I'm making? If you know what this is. Also, I don't know if Rick left because he's not feeling well, but FYI, he has potential food poisoning, everybody. So he could have very, 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 very well had to go through it. Not trying to call him out, but just in case. So we'll talk here in case he comes back. And if not, we will give it like 2 minutes and hang up. Are you okay?
Yep.
Okay.
What's the art reaction? Yep.
Whoop, that was just like he might be dying, FYI. It is an arc reactor.
All right. Oh, very cool. Mine's tres leches. I love tres leches. Um, with or without booze in the sauce. Experimenting to make one chocolate is sometimes a fun pastime of mine, but that's my favorite cake. It is the type
They
of
had
cake
that
that
at which one? It's the type of cake that what?
it is the type of cake that you never ever layer. Just spread it out, bigger pan. I've seen cooking shows where they fucking fail. They like make layers of it. It's like, what are you doing? It's just goo. You can't pile goo. And then when it falls, it's just like. But I fucking love tres leches. It is the one cake
They
that I can make flawless every time. Um,
mm.
Yeah.
They
Like
actually had that at the restaurant that I went to lunch today for my birthday lunch with my dad.
plain vanilla or carrot cake, rum with raisins. There you go. That sounds
What
fine.
kind of you are so white, Dylan.
Hey man, we so okay, so 4th of
I
July.
hate I hate carrot cake. I hate carrot cake.
This is how we spent 4th of July. I woke up around 10 o'clock, and Alicia and I have been discussing for weeks, if not months, about redoing part of our dining room. Because to paint a picture of the dining room, had two 4 by 4 foot tables in it. So essentially, for Thanksgiving time, they were pushed together. So you had an 8 by 4 foot table. So 12 to 16 members can eat at the table. All right, massive. And over the course of the past 3 years, we've had less and less people come over for parties and stuff. And a couple months ago, I had said on the idea that I would be willing to get rid of my table that's in there because when Alicia moved in, she brought a lot of her stuff from her apartment when she was in graduate school. And her 4 by 4 foot table is one of them. So I had said that I will be willing to sacrifice my table if we could just if we not if we could just but if we wanted to and try and like make better use of the space on the back wall. So we had been in talks for a while about what we would do, etc. And she has sent me pictures of various wall units for the dining room, and one of them came from Amazon, and one the last two we were looking at was one from Amazon and one from IKEA. The one from Amazon would not take up as much space, but the one from IKEA took up almost the whole wall. It's
Of course it
minus
did.
two, minus 2 or 3 feet. Well, it was you had to buy. You bought like they show it as a unit on the site, but it's 3 units.
Oh
Okay,
Jesus Christ!
so that's fine. Like it ultimately ended up, it was in 9 boxes, so easy enough to carry in and out. Um, just a shit ton of cardboard. My recycling bin is now full after one day. But yeah, so I woke up 10 o'clock in the morning, and Alicia's like, and she does not like going to IKEA. She does not like going
I love
there.
IKEA.
And she's like, if IKEA is open, do you want to go there and we can turn that into today's project? And I said, okay. So we looked it up. They're open. It's 10 o'clock and I haven't even had my coffee. I haven't even gotten out of my jammies. And all of a sudden I am changing and we're going to IKEA. And it was not as crazy as I thought it would be there on the 4th of July. And then we ended, and
Yeah,
I'm telling
probably
you,
because people were doing shit.
yeah, nothing says celebrating your country like wanting to blow up a part of it. Um, but so yeah, so we finished at IKEA. It is like 10 to 2 at that point in time, and we go to a diner that has any sandwich, get a free malt. That's a win.
Ooh.
We both get vanilla. So because they only had 3 fucking choices of shake. And yeah. So I'm like, hey, what the hell? I got to have a
Have you ever
fancy
had a
ass
coffee
sandwich.
malt?
A what? Coffee
A
malt?
coffee malt, like a coffee ice cream
Oh sure.
malt?
Oh yeah. I love ice cream. I've had an abusive relationship with it for 40 years. And
An abusive relationship with it.
Jason, you should make some red velvet cookies.
Hi.
red
So
red
just so you
velvet
know, my
cookies.
cat is chasing lady or not ladybugs, lightning bugs throughout the window. So if you hear like loud noises, I don't know, you might
Hey, that's cool.
stop. Stop that. Stop that.
You have lightning fireflies in your area? That's cool.
Yeah. Tons. Yeah, tons.
That's cool.
And I love it because right now I have like corn and like all this other stuff growing in my yard, and like the silk from the corn just started to show, and I'm like freaking out excited. And like every time the lightning bugs go off in that area, like there's so many that it just like it's full. Hi. Oh, you want okay. Well, she came over for pets, so now she has to get shown. In case people don't know yet, people who don't know, this is Noodle. She has about 17 warrants out for her internationally. And now she's mad that I'm holding her. So she's probably, if I try to move her, she's going to yell at me because she's now stuck in my shirt. See? She really just wants to look in the window that's next to me. She didn't actually want me to hold her or pick her up. She just really wanted to go in the window. So this is the baddest baby ever. Look how pissed she looks, Rick.
Dude, she did not look happy. Like, if that were Munin, I'd be putting
her down. Oh my
God,
stop. Go. You're stuck in my shirt. I can't do anything about that.
Yeah, if that were Munin, I'd be letting her go.
This is what we're doing now.
Shallow water. That's where this monster came from. Oreo ice
Shallow
cream.
Water.
Oreo ice cream's pretty legit. We had blizzards earlier.
Oh hell yeah!
And so we had blizzards earlier, and I love Dairy Queen's puppy mix.
What's puppy mix?
So puppy mix is like kind of like a party mix that you make with Chex and sugar and rice Chex and sugar and more sugar and then like various binding agents. You can make it different ways, but typically you end up with a rice Chex that's either coated in like Nutella, peanut butter, or some type of chocolate and powdered sugar. So pretty good. And Dairy Queen has a blizzard of that, and I like to get it without the chocolate chunks because they have to go into different bins to scoop out the stuff in it. And I'm just like, don't put chocolate in it. Like, it's good enough with all the peanut butter shit that in the cereal in there, so it's wonderful.
Now I want ice cream. I fucking hate all of you. Okay, what's your favorite? Okay, now we're gonna do this because I know it's not cooked fruit. And you know what's hilarious? So I went strawberry picking on the 4th of July, and I went and got peaches from the peach truck, like right before that. And I was like, "What am I gonna do with this?" You know what I should do? I should cook it, blend it down, make it like puree it, and then make popsicles. And all I kept thinking is, should I ask Rick if this is fucking cooked fruit?
If you have to ask.
I was just being a shit like in my head, and I was like, "Oh God, that was the best," because that was the best. Like everybody said that was the best. Okay, so what's your favorite ice cream?
Me? I think I've covered this, but
have you?
I don't know. I'll repeat it. I don't care. I like. It all depends.
I think I know what your answer is.
Bubblegum, as long as it doesn't have gum in it. And if not, it's typically a sherbet, more likely than not orange.
I was thinking of you because that's the next color that I'm going to try to do with the bullets. It's like a red or yellow orange sherbet.
Like Izzy's ice cream, when I worked for there, they did this cool promotion every year. And then, of course, when times started getting lean, they decided to do it every other year. Anyway, so they did this yearly promotion called like flavor awards. I think that's what they did. So they would they had their fans go on their website and vote on flavors or submit flavors for July. and or June, and you would just and their top flavors, they would make those, and then they would sell tickets to this event, outdoor event with probably with six canopies, and you have their retail people scooping out flavors to people who bought tickets to this event. My job was to schlep water all around at this point in time to make sure the scoopers had clean water, and to also bring in fresh ice or new ice cream to them when they ran out. And very busy. But the winner for the year I worked there was their pomegranate pizzazz, which was a cherry pomegranate sorbet. Amazing. And I discovered you can make a smoothie with it, with orange juice, and just that's all it is: orange juice and this fucking sorbet, and it was amazing. And so whenever I would go to the higher end restaurants to deliver ice cream orders, the boss would tell me, "Hey, take them like a 4 quart, 6 quart container of the pizzazz and just complimentary and see what they do with it." So I had this one Mexican restaurant that I like to go to, that I would deliver to in the Mall of America's Mall of America, and told the guy, "Here, this is what we've got. It's complimentary, blah blah blah." And I told him, "Oh, I like to mix it with orange juice and make a smoothie." And I'm leaving, I'm packing up and stuff. He says, "Don't go anywhere." And he goes and he takes the sorbet that I just gave him and he makes one up with it. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's pretty good." Gives me a to-go cup and on my merry way. 2 months later, I've left Izzy's, um, on good terms, and my
Is
mom and I
Izzy's
are
like
at
the soda company?
no, it was
Okay.
just a local ice cream company that has now gone. I think totally. But so we're mom and I are at a Mall of America because she wanted to go to the aquarium, and we're doing this and that. We're walking by, and fucking if that restaurant didn't have a special of orange smoothies, um, it turns out they used my idea that I sold them on the idea of selling ice cream to them to promote it for a seasonal treat. I'm like, hey,
Fucking bitches.
job well done. like two fucking components. And like the cool thing about that job was every day you got to have ice cream. All right, all employees got to have an ice cream every day. Some of the high school kids that work there, like, "Oh, you'll get tired of it eventually." Sneer. And I'm like, fuck, you don't know me. Like, you guys make more than 3 flavors. I'm not going to get tired of it. Every damn day I was there, I'm eating ice cream. And like one day, like the retail people are kind of snooty, and it's like, why? So this one bitchy lady who was like, "Hey, I came in, I finished my shift. I'm like, I came in to
This
get
one
my
bitchy
ice
lady.
cream." And I'm like, "Hey," I asked one of the retail ladies who's behind the counter, "Hey, can I get a scoop of marshmallow?" Blah blah blah. And her team lead, who's the snooty bitchy person, like, she's working. She doesn't have. You get your own ice cream. Well, there's no customers here. So I'm like, okay, I wash my hands because I know I'm supposed to do that, but I've never been trained in retail. So I go behind the counter, I grab what I know is a packing scoop. It's like you use a different scoop to pack pints than you would to dish out
That's
ice cream.
so weird.
So I grab a packing scoop and I'm making eye contact with this bitchy person. And I'm like, I've never done retail before. I just grab this thing, stab into the massive vat, throw a slab of ice cream that's bigger than this dude in my waffle cone. I'm like, "See you tomorrow," and leave. And then the boss the next day is like, "I understand you didn't want to have retail help you yesterday when you were getting ice cream." And I said, "Oh no."
That is
Oh,
not what
no.
happened at all.
I was like, "You ask all of them there. I asked to be served."
That is
And I was
not
told to
what
do it.
happened at all.
I was like, I was told to do it myself. So I did. Oh, okay. Boss was never confrontational. It's like for him to have this discussion with me was
Fuck
monumental. And
that.
then a couple days later, this is fucking hilarious. All right, so I'm the oldest person in the building, or in the for the company, aside from my boss. Okay, and this is what 15 years ago. So I'm 32. I'm the oldest person. A couple of the kids I recognized from when I was substituting the year before, or the school year before, because they were at the high school that I was fucking substituting at. Right, so really weird shift in dynamics. So my boss comes in and says, and I've only been there for like 6 weeks. Rick, I have to go. You're in charge for today. And I'm like, what? I don't know what's going on here. Yes, but you're the oldest and I assume the most responsible. And it just fucking takes off. And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to make sure that I don't burn the fucking place down. Like, shit, 6 weeks of experience and I'm the one in charge. All I did is just do my fucking deliveries and just look
And
in
made
and be like,
ice cream.
like one of the cooler, like, yeah, like, oh man, I love, like, if I were able to have made a my own flavor there, I would have taken the marshmallow ice cream and put Rice Krispies in it, so I could have a crispy treat.
Ooh.
Yeah, super simple, right? But that
That's
would be
so
like
smart.
my ideal attempt at like my own fucking ice cream, and yeah, and it's clearly like it sounds like a good idea, but I've never seen it in the store, so I'm like, it's my own trademark here on Talk About Pain Club. Um, do we have anybody new since Kimmy showed up?
I
And
don't
I don't
know.
see.
I can't tell. I
I
don't.
didn't
I
see
can't. It
Kimmy
doesn't
vote.
tell me who's watching.
I'm looking at the chat, and I don't see.
Ow.
I just see Kimmy that says, "Hey."
Can you see who's on there?
No, that's
I
great.
didn't
I
think
wish
so. I
I
was
could.
like, I can't.
I
Right?
know. That's an interesting comment. Interesting. I have no idea. I don't know if you could do that.
Since we're talking about ice cream, I literally just ordered myself some Cold Stone. So
Atta girl.
I got myself.
Oh, got some wipes.
Let's see.
Another one.
I got sweet cream ice cream with Oreo, brownie, and almonds. Usually I just do the brownie with almonds, but I wanted some Oreos because of Dylan. Yeah, from Cold Stone. Did I just pay an excessive amount of, money for ice cream? Yes. Because it's on fucking Uber Eats? Absolutely. Do I care
if you ever get
on Tuesday? No.
If you ever do Cold Stone, don't do gummy bears. It's just like,
oh, they get so rock hard, and then they're like,
right. So like conceptually, I don't know if you know about how Cold Stone does it, David, is like conceptually they mix it on a frozen marble slab, whatever you want mixed in with it. And there are some things that just sound amazing, but once they get frozen, it's a bad idea. And gummy bears are definitely one of them.
Gummy bears are good when you put them on top of things and you're a kid and you want like candy on top of it.
I'm a turd for Cold Stone because I only get sprinkles. Like it's the only thing
what?
It's the only I only get sprinkles as a mix-in. It's the only thing I get. Like all that extra.
If I'm somewhere and someone asks me for a topping, I want sprinkles. That's the only topping. Like I don't want random shit on top, but mixed in, I feel like it's like getting like a pint of ice cream that just already has that shit in it. So like my brain goes into like, oh, what would I get at a grocery store like that has stuff inside? Oh, okay. But like when people put like, hot fudge, I used to love when I was a kid. I used to love hot fudge. But like when people put like, whatever, like brownie bits or the almonds or the walnuts, the cherries, I'm like, I don't want it on top. I don't want to go like this and have it layered like a cake. I love sprinkles though. What kind of sprinkles?
Not chocolate.
What kind of sprinkles? Rainbow or chocolate? Not chocolate? Air fry.
Not chocolate. There you go.
Rainbow
No, I don't
sprinkles
like
are the
chocolate.
shit.
I don't need chocolate. I don't want chocolate sprinkles. God dang. What
You don't like
else?
chocolate?
No, I do like. I like chocolate in limited amounts. Like I don't. I won't go after a chocolate cake, but a brownie all day long. I don't know what the fuck the difference is. But like,
Now I want
but
to make
making a
that.
chocolate tres leches, you bet. We're there. Um, because I'll put Kahlua
So
in the
since you
milk
like
sauce.
bubblegum ice cream,
I do.
how do you feel about pink cotton candy ice cream?
Well, I like cotton candy ice cream too. One of my favorite ones to get at Izzy's. So because Izzy's would do like they'll give you that little melon ball on top, and you can just pick whatever
Yeah.
other color to do. So one of the better ones or combinations I found was getting a cotton candy one with an orange sherbet Izzy on top. Like sounds fucking weird, but it's cool. And like another cool flavor combination I liked was getting one of their bourbons and getting their green apple, not sour, just green apple. So totally different flavor than like a Jolly Rancher. And eating that apple and bourbon, so good, so good.
What confuses me is that there's a pink cotton candy ice cream, and then there's a regular cotton candy ice cream, which I'm assuming probably tastes more like a blue raspberry.
I don't know.
Okay, so Dave, since you don't know what this is, you get one mix-in for free. Now I'm going to teach you all about Cold Stone. Look, we're right here. But you could have apple pie filling, which Rick doesn't want, bananas, blueberries, brownies, butterfingers, caramel, chocolate chips, chocolate shavings, chocolate sprinkles, cinnamon, coconut, devil's food cake. What?
Shrimp kebab,
Golden Oreos, graham
shrimp
crackers,
bologna.
gummy bears. Don't do that. Shrimp kebabs,
Shrimp kebab, shrimp
Heath bar,
bologna.
Kit Kats, M&Ms, marshmallow, Oscar. What is it? Oscar steak, like a steak with the Oscar crust on it, which is crab, peanut butter, peanuts, pecans, pineapple, rainbow sprinkles. Basically, here I'm gonna move us. Look, you can get all that shit.
You put whatever you want in there.
And they go like this. They put it in the middle, and then they sit there and do like a fucking hibachi move on it, and then pick it up and put it in your cup. Tell me it's not ice cream hibachi. Tell me it's not, and that will be fine.
I was
But
thinking.
it is.
I was thinking of that right before you said it. I was like, oh, that's awesome. You just don't have the little guy with the.
Yeah,
you don't have the dude with the little peeing statue or a toy. And
No, and there's no volcano that goes, no, sorry. Just ice cream hibachi.
pretty
That's
much.
what I'm gonna call
if
this show
anything, you
from
can
now on.
it is Sub-Zero hibachi. That's fucking awesome. No, Mom took me to a Japanese steakhouse while she was here. I think I talked about this for a second. And yeah, it was really yummy. Like we saved $5 by getting the lovers dinner for two. And I'm like, cool. Mom wanted like
fuck it. I love my mom.
Because like mom's like, well, I want this or I want that. I'm like, you want some lobster? You want some lobster? Let's get you lobster. We'll get steak. We'll do this. We'll do this one. It'll save you $5. Blah blah blah. Ooh, that sounds good. Yeah.
We'll still try everything.
Yeah, it was super yummy. A lot of different seafood choices and a little bit of filet mignon. Yeah, I forgot how much I liked that, but I forgot how much I liked it, but I was reminded how much it fucking is. It's like this is a violation.
I went to a Brazilian steakhouse today, so yeah, I get you. It was so expensive.
Yeah, my buddies and we do a yearly tradition of going to the Fogo de Chao in October. And when my
that's what I had Fogo de Chao.
Oh, I love it. And I was quickly reminded. I was like, oh well, I'm not an educator anymore. We don't have to do because it's an MEA weekend. I don't remember what the MEA stands for. Something about educators, but in October, the state of Minnesota gives educators like a Thursday and Friday off so that they can go meet with teams or do whatever. Everybody fucking takes it off. It's the first time off you get in the school year, 7 weeks in.
If you
It's a
meet with
nice
teams, you're meeting at a bar
and
to
yeah, and
have
so like
wings and
so for over 10 years we have always been going during MEA weekend to the Fogo de Chao. And so like I had said, well, I'm not an educator anymore. My best friend says, well, that has never been one of the stipulations. I'm like, great. And then one of my other buddies who has joined us on occasion says, I'm not an educator and I join you all the time. You can't stop because you quit. Like, all right, all right, all right. We're not gonna stop. The show will go
do
on.
you
So
you know at Fogo de Chao they have what is it, Louis the 13th, the whiskey or the cognac? What is it called? Hold on, now I gotta Google it. Somebody's gonna know it before I do in the chat. You always talk about Fogo de Chao. That's what Lupin. That's what Robin said.
Oh, that's a Robin. Robin, you get to choose. We had discussed this earlier.
But Fogo de Chao is so good. My stepdad never has been to like any of these. My
Uh-huh.
stepdad doesn't go out, so like I told him what it was, and he was like, "Oh fuck yeah, we're going for your birthday." So we went from the mall straight there, and he was like, as we're eating, he's like, "Oh my god, this is just like the best."
What
This
can
was
I
the
say? I
best.
have
And like every time the person came by, he was like, absolutely, absolutely, yes, yes, I want that. Yes, I want. He was so excited, and I'm like, it's worth it. Like, okay, yeah. So it's cognac. It's a Remy Martin cognac. It's Louis the 13th. It's literally like a $5,000 bottle, $4,000 bottle, and they have a little sip of it. They give you a sip of it for like over $100. It's like this much alcohol, like a tiny taster.
We got to start making
like
that YouTube
get your
money.
palate like. Well, I went there in Manhattan like 2 years ago or whatever with another artist, and he got it, and I was like, really? And he does not have. I mean, he might have that kind of money. I don't know, but he was like, fuck it. I'm never gonna be here again because they don't have them, I guess, near where he lives. So he was like, this is the one time in my life I'm gonna try this. I don't even like cognac. Like, you know, he was just really excited because he had a solo show and you know, celebrating kind of joy. And I was like, you know what? It's your money. Fuck it. And he's like, do you want to try it? And I was like, I hate cognac, so absolutely not. But I'm gonna put it on my lips to say that I tried it. Like, I'm gonna do the classic, like, you know, anybody who's been to church knows this. The classic, like, little, like, put it to your lips and like, you know, give the blood of Christ. That's what they call it. They call it the blood of Christ. And like, I know a lot of places give you grape juice, but my Catholic church gave you wine, and they give that shit to you starting at 7 when you make your communion. So my mom and Nona always told me
that's like, how they get you hooked for life.
You're not allowed to yeah, they told me you could only put it on your lips to get the touch. Like, you're not allowed to sip it until you're older. And I was like, okay. So I did. I called it a church sip.
Go back to the Fogo comment. Fuck yeah! Like you got dudes walk around with meat on swords. There's no other restaurant that does that.
There were 3 little kids running around the restaurant today, and I was like, I just want one of them to be impaled by.
I mean, like, that's not normalized in our society. Guys walking around with meat on swords. If that was, then I wouldn't talk about the one place that has it, but I would just be fascinated that America has the culture that everybody walks around with fucking meat on swords. And that's fine. Next time I'm in Albuquerque, we'll go there. That's correct.
Ooh.
Like,
next time we're all in Manhattan together, we're going to Carmine's. That's what we're gonna do.
I fucking love the idea of that. And you know, I'm picky enough to know which ones I don't like, and yeah, and I know which ones are really yummy, and I love it. Like, there was one time when my best friend, we've been doing this for years, say at least 10, probably more, and his kid joins us most times, and sometime past 5-6 years, he was being a real shit on the train, because we do take the train because it is easier to park at my house, walk the 3 blocks to the train station, than it is and ride the train for 30
Oh,
30
three
minutes
blocks, yeah.
than it is to pay for parking. Except since the pandemic, we have been going into pay parking. Um, but yeah, he's being a real shit this one time, and I'm like, Kai, this is your dad. You're not impressing me by being a shit to your dad, and he's probably one of the smartest people I know. And stop being a shit to your dad. So we finally get to the restaurant, and the guy's having us. The guy is cutting meat off, and I get this one cut of meat that's pretty elastic, right? And I have decided that while I'm pulling it with my tongs, I am aiming it at the kid, so that once he cuts it free, whang, I am hitting him with the meat bungee. And I mean, I am pulling on it, and the guy cutting
It must
is
have been skirt steak or something like that.
must.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but the guy stops what he's doing and says, "You need to stop pulling it." I'm like, "Fuck, fuck! I've been found out."
You should have just told him, like, no, I'm trying to hurt him.
No, so like on
Slip
the
him
ride-
a 20, tell him to don't talk about it.
on the ride home in the train, I'm listening to him, and he's not as being as rude. I'm thinking to myself, all right, he's being a teenager. This is what teenagers do. I still think it's rude as fuck. One day that kid's going to be 21, and he's going to wish he didn't make it to 21 in a day. So like, this old man is going to make him wonder why he touched alcohol in the first place. And so yeah, he turned 21 this past year. My buddy messaged me. He's like, "Oh, by the way, he turned 21. You are not allowed to drink with him." I'm like, what? Come on. He's like, "Nope, nope." I know what you've done in the past. You are not allowed to drink with him because I do not feel like cleaning up after my boy. And I said, okay.
You're like, I didn't do anything.
I mean, that's what friends are for, right?
Not me.
Not me. Oh no. Yeah. That's what happens when you have friends for too long. But yeah. But then, we're at the party this past Memorial Day, and I had said I gave him a new idea. So years ago, thanks to Brandy, we got together as a group of guys.
Brandy the liquor or Brandy the R&B singer?
Brandy the liquor. So my buddy was really good at making apple cordial. All right, he got really good at it.
Oh, oh my God, I want it so bad one year. Sorry.
So so I suggested to him that he had sent me a picture with his kid, like kind of slumped at his kitchen island with, and he's like, "Oh, we found some of the old stock," and they were drinking apple cordial on his 21st birthday. Great, best thing to do, drink with your son at home, so he's not getting shit faced with his friends, thinking he knows everything. He's gonna just have a chill night. And then he found another bottle of the apple stuff to send him to college with. Okay. So I suggested to him, I was like, we should start a new tradition now that we can, since your son is now old enough to do this. And he's like, what you got in mind? I'm like, well, one year we ended up getting together as a group of friends of like 6, and we all bought brandy so that my buddy he wanted to make a big batch of it. That was his thing for the day. He wanted to make a big batch. He just didn't want to spend all the money on brandy to fill up a 5-gallon carboy. And so I had said to him, well, we have enough friends that that think highly of your product. Let's ask them if they want to buy into this, and they can buy the booze. We can make it, and then in 6 months we'll part it out, and they get what they put in. And he said, well, I suppose that'll work. As soon as we floated the idea, we all went to the liquor store to buy the brandy we needed. Bottom shelf, nothing but the finest. And amongst 4 or 5 people, we bought 5 gallons of brandy to put in the carboy. And so So one night in October,
That's a lot of
a couple
brandy.
of us got together and we were chopping apples to put in the carboy so that you could soak them with the brandy. And like one of my buddies is huge. He's very tall, very built, or very strong, and so he was the one that would pick up this thing with gallons of liquid and he's shaking it to stir it because we didn't think about making a slurry. And yeah, so that sat in my buddy's apartment for 6 months. When it was ready to be bottled, we were all stoked with this idea. We loved it. So I floated that idea with my buddy. I was like, what we could do is we should get together in October whenever he comes home from his fall break and from school, and we should make a small batch so that we get together in May, bottle it, and we can do a taste test to see how we did. And my buddy's like, yeah, that sounds cool. When they left the party, like they hadn't been on the road more than 20 minutes. He messages me back. I've already talked to the kid. He's on board with that. We'll see. Like, great new tradition, and that's was pretty much like the hope is that because the kid's old enough now, more mature, except for when you watch his YouTube channel, and yeah, um, like cool, that's fun. I don't know how we got here, but that's where we're going.
Because I think I said Louis the 15th, and I went
Mm, brandy.
brandy and cognac. So whatever. I'm a grown ass adult. I don't care. When I was little, to get me to like shut up, my mom would give me like a little sip of blackberry brandy. Because you get a little like, and you just fuck up and pass out.
So I'm gonna tell one more. I'm gonna tell one more story before we sign off tonight. We had the like kudos to everybody. We all showed up on time.
Wait, don't we get to know who wins?
Oh yeah. We'll do that. Just a second.
So we have two things.
We have a winner, and we don't even have to do a tiebreaker yet. So hopefully nobody. So hopefully, if somebody shows up, it doesn't turn it into. I don't want to tell anybody. Don't come in. Come on in. I'm going to tell this story before we do, just to buy time for any latecomers. And I've already forgotten the story. Fuck.
I said blackberry brandy, and my mom making me shut up. So I don't know if it helps.
So so getting that back wall set up, and after we got the thing built, yesterday I was, yesterday I was unloading or moving stuff around, and our liquor cabinet is not actually a cabinet; it's two stacks of shelves, and I was unloading it. I was getting rid of some of the crappier things in there, and by crappier I mean like stuff I made years and years ago out of candy, like the Jolly Rancher vodka stuff. Have you ever heard of that? Or
yes.
Okay, so I had made years ago. I had made several different types of candy vodkas for various parties or just as experiments and whatnot, and some of them were hits, some of them were not. But like, so names will not be said to protect the innocent, and if you're not innocent, you know who the fuck you are. All right, so
I said name because she's dead. So she can't get in trouble.
Yes. So we have a buddy that's a mooch. Okay. And he will show up to
what? I know the way that those stories start, you know that it's going to be hilarious.
We have a buddy who's a mooch. And in my experimentation days of wanting to see what candy mixes well with booze to whether or not you could like makes whatever weird schnapps. That's essentially what I'm trying to do. I made a candy corn roll, okay, because I do like candy corn, okay, and this did not come out well. Tastes like candy corn, and it dampened the booze enough to be smooth. But Jesus, did it need a mixer? Probably just milk, but it needed a mixer. But we have a buddy who's a mooch. And he came over one day on a Sunday without any booze. At that point in time, Minnesota did not allow Sunday sale of booze. See how progressive Minnesota is. Since I've been here, they've allowed Sunday sale of booze, and they're 6 weeks from having recreational weed, and they're a safe spot for a safe place, a sanctuary state. Minnesota's pretty progressive. Anyway, so he shows up. We're doing something food related, and guy's like, "You got any? I forgot to pick up beer on the way here. You got any beer I can have?" And the answer is no. But I was like, "But I have this if you want it." "Oh, sure." So I let him have the candy corn vodka, and he starts drinking this, and he's like, "No, this is all right. Yeah, you got any milk? This would be pretty good milk." "No, I don't have any milk, dude." "Oh," and he's just drinking this jug of crap, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna save this just for him," like. So next time he came over, a couple weeks later, that mooch juice was still there. Um, I didn't start calling it mooch juice until about 2 weeks ago, and yeah. So
I love it.
then like I shared on one of my friends' group chats. I shared a picture of
I love
the
it.
bottle of candy. I even kept it in a plastic smart water bottle. All right, that's how much I really liked this stuff. And but I shared a picture of this with my buddies, and they were like, "What are you doing with that?" I'm like, "I'm throwing it out." And one of my friends who does not like to throw anything out, he's like, "Why would you waste? Why would you throw that away? You could keep it forever, and whenever you have a mooch come in, just give them that." I'm like, "No, I'm now just going to not invite mooches and whatnot over." So it's like I can either save this for very specific reasons, or I could just prevent altogether. And I'm like, well, again, we stopped having as big a parties and whatnot. So I'm like, I don't need the booch juice anymore. But what I did find when I was reorganizing this or reshelving stuff was I found um, a mason jar, a quart size that still had blackberries in it. So I have been steeping blackberry whiskey for 4 years. So yeah, tomorrow the plan is to make a simple syrup and strain it and have a blackberry whiskey ready to go. And after 4 years of mellowing with the berries, it should be pretty good.
I
So
kind of want to make like with the peaches that I have. I kind of want to make like a peach like moonshine.
a peach what?
Moonshine.
Yeah. Well, just get some
Mm.
Everclear and soak the peaches in it.
Mm.
If Everclear is allowed, in or bourbon, peach
Now
flavored
I'm
bourbon's
hungry for
got
peaches. Damn
peach flavored bourbon's got to be tasty.
it. Ooh, that's a good idea. We used to have grapes here, like grapevines here, so they would make wine in the basement, and there's like a whole entire room with barrels and like a wine press, like and all that, like or like a cider press, whatever the fuck it is, and it's like it needs to get cleaned, obviously, because it's old as shit. But at the same time, it's so like this this house made things, so it's like I feel like every time
Yeah,
I look at my garden, I'm like,
that's
damn
cool.
right, I'm following in my grandpa's steps.
Can you soak? I assume you could smoke pot or soak pot leaves into like bourbon and get an infused booze, can't you? Couldn't you? There you go. Peach flavored Crown Royal is great but deadly.
I don't know how it works, but my no my this person that I know, they used to make like weed vodka. So I don't know how they did it, but they used to make that and you get high and drunk at the same time. And it was a terrible idea.
I bet.
When
So
when you're 20, you're like,
I like David. I like David's note about peach flavored Crown Royal. I bet you could put that in a milkshake and it would be amazing.
ooh, ooh.
You can soak weed in Everclear to remove the THC. Well, why would you want to remove it?
No, so it goes into it.
Oh, so it goes. Oh, okay. I'm like, oh. I'm thinking of some fucking osmosis thing and being like, oh. Okay. So we're going to sign off. It has been an interesting chit chat.
No, you have to tell us who won.
I'm getting there.
Sorry.
America, fuck yeah. Bald Eagle wins by 1. All right. So, America, fuck yeah. All right. So, the first
Can you please
reel on
post that song when you make it?
That's exactly what I was thinking. The first reel that I do for that on Instagram is going to have the America, fuck yeah song.
Saving the world from the mother. Great. Now that's all I'm going to hear in my head.
Yeah. So this is all kinds of fun. All right. So then next
that
time,
movie was so inappropriate for a kid my age at the time, and I saw that shit and I was like, "What in the
this
goddamn
is the kind of man
hell
who will
is
take
this?"
a man's dick.
The whole time I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" And I hate puppets, so that did not help me in any way, shape, or form. Oh, it was great. It's fantastic. But my ass is sitting there going like, "This doesn't make me love puppets. This just makes me very confused." What
brilliant.
is?
Fucking brilliant.
I think what year did that come out? What year did that come out?
I don't know, 2006.
Team America, right?
I want to say sometime around
2004.
All right. Well,
I was 14. Why was I watching that?
He's the kind of man. Let me tell you about this dude. He's the kind of man that was sucking other man's. All right. So this is what we got going. Let's see if we can have a work in progress of that thing by next week. All right. So that's
hopefully
what we
I'll
got.
have the arc reactor done by next week.
Yeah, you should get that done. It'd be badass.
Well, especially with my plan on with what it's going to look like. Yeah.
Oh, weird. All right. So
what?
We're in this. Oh, finally got the light fixed. All right. So thank you all for watching tonight. Wow, this was a talk about food shit. We'll be back next week, and yeah, it was great having everybody around. I very much appreciate everybody taking time and effort to give out your opinionated opinions on how my next toy will look. That's fucking rad, and yeah, all around badass. Everybody rocks.
Oh my god! You need also the intro to the Stephen Colbert's old show, to the Colbert Report. When you
the
like
Colbert. That's funny. That's really funny. Whatever I can do to not get demonetized. Yeah. Okay. So, Nicole, if I point this way, there you are. The Matt Hattress on the Instagram, and probably the threads too, right? And then yeah, and then we gotta go this way, and then we go this way, and then we get a little closer, and then this high, and then there we are. There, perfect. At the Rickstro, and apparently on YouTube at Rickstro 2. Yeah.
Oh, cool. You got that?
Yeah. It let me change it. So youtube.com/@Rickstro. That's rad. I haven't changed my banner yet, but I haven't put new content up in about a month. So that'll change soon to start putting more content on that one. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for interacting, chit-chatting, and yeah, your input.
And on Tuesday, have a shot for me or smoke a bowl. I'll be
there you go. So. Perfect. Wish everybody and Nicole a happy birthday. Happy birthday. Love the hair. Well done.
Thank you. Oh yeah, we'll do it again.
Absolutely. All right.
Oh, it doesn't show it as like well because it's.
I should just turn your light off.
Okay, hold on. I like how we're signing off and we're like, hold on, everyone.
Hold on, we're gonna do one last firework before we leave, like a sparkler.
Well, I mean, you still have the computer light.
Well, there you go.
I don't know. No, yeah.
Well, let's see. That
You
helps.
still have the computer light, but like, yeah.
There you go.
Ooh.
That's cool, dude. There you go. All right.
She said hippo birdie. My mom used to have a mug that said that.
Hippo
We gave
booty
it to her on
hole.
her birthday when she was like 36. Oh.
Hippo
All
booty.
right. Now that I'm
What
gonna
are my
go
other
cry
buddies?
about it.
Very cool. All right, everybody. We will see y'all next week. Thank you all for tuning in, etc. And if you're watching it later, it was recorded in front of a live studio audience.
It literally was. They're over here.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. Good night, Nicole.
Night.
Let's see. Where's the button?